Hey guys, I also wanted to share a few things with you. Apparently, I wasn't aware of this until just a little while ago. As it says here, 2 million rabies vaccinations were dropped over Texas by plane. And this was this year in 2012 in January. And I'll link you up to this piece at experimentalvaccines.org. And there's links to all kinds of the articles and different things that they did over there. And I'll also show you right now a some mainstream news coverage of it.
The Texas Cooperative Extension Team gets ready to load and drop the bait that helps to eliminate rabies in the coyote and gray fox population of South and West Central Texas. Teams from the Texas Department of Health, USDA, and the National Guard load up the rabies vaccines wrapped in a fish meal bait.
To accomplish the canine rabies bait drop in South Texas, over 31,000 miles were flown, covering approximately 12,000 square miles of area to drop the baits. Approximately 35 baits were dropped per linear mile in the exercise.
The purpose of the program is to protect the human health and safety. Nunley said in 1988, Texas had 2 different rabies outbreaks within the state, among coyotes and unvaccinated dogs. Humans' lives were lost in the outbreaks. In 1995, the oral rabies vaccination program came together with the idea of setting up a barrier of vaccinated coyotes along the leading edge of the rabies outbreak, which started in the Rio Grande Valley. Rabies in coyotes was found as far as 45 miles south from San Antonio, Texas.
Some of the successes that we can determine whether the program is successful is doing surveillance work after we drop these 2.5 million baits a year.
A collection of biological samples after the bait drop can determine what portion of the wildlife population picked up the baits and what level of immunization these animals have.
The maintenance barrier that we have along the border for the coyote rabies has to be maintained, or basically you lose everything that you put into it up to that point. We are working with the Mexican government to try to enhance our ability through them to understand what's going on the other side of the border.
The already established program teams work around the clock at the beginning of each year, loading and dropping the rabies baits. From San Antonio, Texas, I'm Norma Moreno.
And I also stumbled across this piece here from June 17th of 2010, talking about the rabies vaccine being sprayed from the sky as well in Arizona. As it says here, airdrops of rabies vaccines begins today. And this was on the June 15th, 2010. And it talks a little bit about that here in this little spiel. But who knows? I mean, this is apparently going on all over. And you heard in the mainstream news footage I just played for you, in which they said they do some, I think it was 20 million per year or something like that. Insane numbers, and all this is being put into the environment. And I mean, what happens when an animal eats too many of these things? You know, what does it become infected? Can he go crazy, bite a human, infect a human? You know, I'm sure they know all these things, but I just wanted to bring some of this to light. Thanks to some of my fellow YouTubers for making me aware of these things. And we all know that they like to genetically modify things. Who knows? They're probably genetically modifying these bats and end up carrying diseases for all we know. So they certainly have the technology to do so. But I wanted to throw this in here, talking about genetically modified mosquitoes that were to be released in the U.S. for the first time. And this has happened up in Canada. I showed you the experiments they were doing here in Ontario, where I am. And now, you know, there, as it says here, okay, as it says here, a private firm plans to initiate the release of the GE mosquitoes in the Florida Keys. So it's right near Florida and near Miami, and this was supposed to happen. These are going to be released into the environment as early as January of this year. So that again, it's all near Florida, right? And it says here, whether or not the mosquitoes lead to detrimental environmental and genetic impact, that will be determined. But the residents in this area will also be subjected without choice to these genetically manipulated insects unless the private firm decides to seek permission. So, just another example here of how they're releasing genetically modified organisms into the environment and carrying viruses for basically testing and using the public as guinea pigs, as they often do. Now, I'm also going to link you guys up to this, which is something one of my fellow YouTubers made me aware of as well, and it's the Federal Vampire and Zombie Agency, and pretty peculiar stuff here. I'm not going to get into the entirety of everything here, but it says here from 1869 to 1975, the Federal Vampire and Zombie Agency, or the FVZA, also known as the Vanguard, was responsible for controlling the nation's vampire and zombie populations while overseeing scientific research into the undead. This site is a tribute to the men and women who served in the FVZA, especially over 4,000 agents who lost their lives fighting to keep our country safe. In addition to paying tribute to the FVZA, this site hopes to call attention to dangerous research being done at the Santa Rosa Institute, research that runs the risk of bringing back a scourge of vampires worse than any before. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the Santa Rosa Institute here. Now, the Santa Rosa Institute, when you click the link, will take you here, and it says 50 years ago, the Santa Rosa Institute was founded by individuals who believed that science could be a tool for the betterment of humankind. Inspired by that vision, the Institute has gone on to achieve an unmatched record of achievement in the field of genetic engineering. In this anniversary year, we reflect on our accomplishments as we set our sights on a new horizon, a longer life for every person in America. And I'll go ahead and link you up to the Santa Rosa Institute here so you can learn about what they're researching and so forth. There's not too much information there, but you can get a good idea about some of the things. As you scroll down here, and you can learn about some of the things they're doing. But it's interesting that you know, they changed their name to the Institute of Advanced Research now, and it's just there's all kinds of stories on that. You'll find them when you click the links that I provide below. However, I just wanted to include those few little tidbits for you, and the dumping of millions of rabies vaccinations. I mean, this could be the cause of this rabies virus being transmitted to humans, and it also could not. There could be other reasons. It could be all different reasons, and it's you know, nothing is certain, but it's just good to be aware of all the facts, so you can put the pieces of the puzzle together yourself. That's why I provided you guys with the links below. So much love, my friends. God bless. Take care.
Alrighty. Let me set this up. Hopefully the sound isn't too bad for you guys. Let me see what's going on. If I got this. Let's get rid of this. We'll move faster. I think ever since I uploaded the plugin that YouTube suggested, and I think it came with the McPhee for some reason, and the Adobe player, the upgrade. It seems like the audio does not match the video. That's number one. Heads up. I'm going to have to figure out how to take this off and use something else. I have static on my speakers when I'm not even listening to anything. It sounds like a radio station or something coming through. Heads up, you might not want to upload that. Try to find some alternative thing to do. I'm going to have to try to figure out how to get this off of here, because as you can see, as fast as I'm talking, it's like the lips don't match the audio. So, I don't know. also it's reverbing back and forth and echoing and stupid stuff. Heads up, YouTube, you're gonna have to find a way of fixing this because this is not acceptable. I'm sorry. Well, let's move on to the news. Oh, there's only okay, 2012 clock, the long count now. I'll call it my long count compared to the other counts. There is only 199 days and 7 hours left before we get to December 21st, 2012. Okay. Let's move on. There's nothing on the Watchers that's new, so we're not going to do the Watchers. We'll go on to, there's the extinction. Let's go on to SOT. There's only one new item on SOT.net. I don't know what's going on with SOT.net, but they're starting to slow down with the, incoming news. Sinkhole forces Naples church services outdoors. So, heads up in Naples, Florida. There's a giant sinkhole. Also, there's a nuclear facility over there too? Isn't there a giant nuclear reactor over there in Naples? Heads up! Heads up! Yeah, hopefully there's no sinkholes by that thing. Okay, we're done with that already. Next. The Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. As you can see, the picture freezes. And then it comes in, like, stagnates in and jumps around. I'm gonna have to figure this out and get this crap off of my computer. That day I uploaded everything. I was up till 5 in the morning. What kind of technology is this? And waste of time. Remember, so if you waste your time, there's no way of getting that back. Time is very valuable. And the computer's running slow, and it kind of like jumps. You know, it's bad for your eyes. Don't focus in on this picture that you're seeing. Here we go. Let's see how long it takes. Here we go. Okay, Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Severe storms reported over regions of northern China today. Der Spiegel claims Israel arming German submarines with nuclear-tipped cruise missiles. Hey, let's just put more nuclear stuff, the plutonium, in the air, alright? Like there isn't enough already. And that's some of German and Israel working together. Okay. And I believe, here we go. Stockholm has coldest day in 84 years. Sweden, coldest temperature in 20 years. 5.9 magnitude earthquake causes tall buildings to sway in Indonesian capital. 6.6 and 6.2 magnitude earthquake strike seafloor just southwest of Panama. And then again, Indian village plagued by swarm of mysterious venomous spiders. I read about that yesterday. Earth hit by mild geomagnetic storm. More sunspots emerge of sun. And you got some sunspots to the left. 1496, 1493 going downward, 1498, 1494, 1497, moving downward and then across, 1495 and straight across, 1490. And a giant coronal hole in the middle. Heads up. And that's it for the Extinction Protocol. Moving on. Japan. E&E News, if it'll come up. Come on, I gotta double click this or what? Okay. Please send out SOS signals to the world. Levels of bioconcentration of radioactivity have not been imagined or have been ignored daringly. Tried to tell officials many times and always denied. Before Fukushima, 100 becquerels per kilogram of cesium is nuclear waste. So it's known as nuclear waste, and then after Fukushima, 100 becquerels per kilogram of cesium is safe to eat. Picture that one. This is all crap. What's going on? Local official. They found plutonium in every sample. Radiation-absorbing bacterium is everywhere on paved surfaces. Heads up. Now you're going to mutate the bacterium with plutonium, and on top of that, how you stop the bacterium from going all over the place? Remember, all you need is a flea. A flea of plutonium will kill you. Atlantic. Is government trying to contaminate every region of Japan by burning radioactive debris? If everyone is contaminated, then in a relative sense, no one is? No, everyone is contaminated then. And so's the rest of the world. They're criminals. I asked the government to kill me. It's better to be dead than alive these days, and there's a video on that one. Also today, TV special on Fukushima. I honestly think for those that can run away from here, it's better to run away. Well, someone's saying it's better to get the hell out now. Kyoto. Japan government agency compares radioactivity material to an angry and agitated wife fighting with husband. I don't think so. And remember this, hell has no fury like a woman. Here's another one. It was out of the Bible. It's something like, it's better to be on your rooftop when you have an angry wife in your house. Look at all this. Look what has happened here. Bunch of crap. Nuclear expert on Japan's MOX. M-O-X. I think the ship is sinking beneath them. It's crazy. There really is a credibility problem here. Also, victims of Fukushima to get help with medical care under new government law. Right to relocation if radiation above 1 millisievert a year. And then yesterday, TEPCO says no comment when asked if they believe nuclear plants are safe. Remember that. And there's no new news in California. Alrighty then. And that's the news for today. There's your update. It is one day down. 4 to go before the weekend again. You have a safe, very safe rest of the week. See you again tomorrow. Take care, and I hope you enjoyed that Joey B63 video on zombies. I'm going to tell you something. Other than it's probably very cruel to over-vaccinate a pet, I think PETA should step in on that one. They're over-vaccinating. That's number one. Number two, how do you test and find out what the rabies is doing if one of the the wildlife out there, don't you have to kill them first to see if they have rabies? Isn't that it? They have to do something, go in and kill them, dissect the brain to find out if they have rabies. Yeah, this is very bad, and then they're gonna do mosquitoes. Guess what? I think it's all their stuff that they're putting out there has to have a genetic code, has some kind of coding on it. They have to have a marker. You end up with that stuff in you. You end up with that stuff in you. You sue them. That's right. I might be allergic to that stuff. Most people might be. And then what happens if a little kid is out there hiking in the woods, picks one of those up and eats it? Huh? What if, this stuff is supposed to be like under lock and key. It's a pharmaceutical thing, isn't it? Not left out there for the public to get a hold of by mistake. Your pet dog, you're hiking through the woods. You're throwing it onto private property. I think everywhere in the United States, isn't most land owned by somebody? You're throwing this on private property, eh? That's what I think. And then does it get into the water system? Are you contaminating everyone's well water? Are you getting it into the public water? Are you getting that stuff into the sewer systems? What's going on? What's really going on? Could that stuff start forest fires? Got enough of that running around in there. I mean, there's all kinds of different options going on. That why you don't throw a bunch of chemicals out there. You know? And a bunch of, and what is it, mercury based? As an adjective? I mean, as a, adjuvant. Sorry, I said adjective. Adjuvant? Isn't it mercury? Are you, like, now putting mercury in the whole environment? What if it ends up in a stream? And one of the fish eat that? You don't think the fish are going to eat that? You don't think the bugs are going to eat that? Do you actually think it's okay to give flies and to give mosquitoes and beetles and bees and everything else out there, lizards, rabies vaccine? And the bacteria eating it too? Are they supposed to have rabies vaccines? And now you do have zombies running around. And vampires. And weird stuff. Now that is running around. Why is that? And it could be a form of rabies because they're going crazy. And that's the mad human disease. Obviously you guys have been affected somehow. And you think it's okay. So heads up with the chemtrails. See? Hey, guess what? You just admitted that you've been spraying chemtrails. Over populations. Over forest. Over land. But it's just been admitted right there about the chemtrails. How's that one? That's a proven fact now. Aerial spraying. That's right. That's chemtrail. For those who don't know that or deny that, that's a chemtrail. It's a chemical trail that goes across and falls to the ground. Do you understand? That's a chemtrail. Short for chemical trail. Chemical. There you go. I don't know. There was still something I missed out on my last report, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a real good point. And I guess I gotta write it down when I think of it again. There's just so much to say. Well, I'll see you again tomorrow. You take care. Get some rest. Alrighty then. And I am putting, and I will put again my tip jar out, since I am part of the percentage that got cut off from unemployment. Alrighty then. Take care. I'll put the tip jar in the description box, I guess. That's how to do it.